Hey, how we doing? I know it's a little bit different of a video for us here on the channel, but um, I'm excited to do something a little bit different for you guys today. We are here taking a look at what is the NASCAR mid-season challenge bracket, and let me tell you, I got really plugged into this last year. We watched Ty Dillon go all the way to the very end of the bracket and lose to the other Ty Gibbs. And I figured since we're not racing right now, it'd be pretty cool to do something like this where we just sit around and fill out a bracket. A lot of NASCAR creators are doing it right now, and yeah, I thought it'd be really cool to do something like this. And let's take a look here. We have our ZWR bracket. We got all this stuff going on here. First round is going to be Sonoma, and we'll go through the list here of the first round matchups. We have Tyler Reddick and Alex Bowman. Yeah, Tyler Reddick by a million. Let's try to get in on this a little bit more so you guys can see the screen better. But yeah, Tyler Reddick by a million. I don't trust Alex Bowman and what's going on there in the 48 camp. A lot of stuff. Doesn't like his crew chief. Crew chief doesn't like him, and yeah, not a good spot to be over there at Hendrick right now. Austin Cindric, who has not really been fast in the Penske 2 this year, going against Brad Keselowski in the 6. Brad is so bad at road courses. I can't. I want to trust him. I really want to. As a Mark Martin fan, I want to see the 6 do well. But man, I can't. It's a road course. So yeah, Austin Cindric moving on. Here's an interesting matchup here, the 8 and 25 matchup, Suarez versus Gilliland. Man, give it up for Gilliland. Over the last few weeks, that 34 car has been up front quite a bit. But probably one is the most unexpected turnaround of the year is that 17 from Spire. Not ready to get on the Gilliland train just yet. Suarez does have a win here at Sonoma, so we're going to move Suarez on. This is an interesting matchup. Carson Hocevar, who admittedly says, I'm not very good at road courses, then comes out with a rocket ship at Coronado last week, facing against Zane Smith, another front row machine who's doing amazing work. I just love what front row is doing right now. This is going to be my first upset in terms of what is the seeding of it all. I don't think Carson is going to translate well here in Sonoma. Coronado is a little bit different, right? Street course is a little bit different than the flow of a NASCAR traditional road course. So, yeah, give me Zane Smith moving on. Chase Briscoe and the 19 team has had a lot of speed consistently, and they're facing AJ Allmendinger in the colleague 16 group. And look, Allmendinger is very good at road courses. I'm also going to take another upset here just because we're at Sonoma. I think AJ Allmendinger is going to be not necessarily a threat to win. I don't think SVG is going to allow 2 weeks in a row of him getting wrecked out. He's still clearly the favorite, but give me Allmendinger in a nice top 5 run. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Ty Gibbs going against Austin Dillon. Pretty straightforward. Austin Dillon's been sneaky good at road courses. You can look up and see him running in the top 10, top 15, but Ty Gibbs has shown he can get around road courses very well. Bubba Wallace, who's been improving his road course prowess, gets a bad draw here against one of the best road course ringers that is a regular in the Cup Series, Michael McDowell. That 71 camp hasn't shown consistency or the top end speed as either of his teammates have this year. But I believe in McDowell's ability around a road course, so give me Michael McDowell. Noah Gragson could be fighting Dr. Seuss for 30th on the grid. It wouldn't matter because unless Chase Elliott gets wrecked out, there's no way Noah Gragson winds up advancing here in the first round. I love me some Chase Elliott, but I also have to be realistic. Come on. His nemesis, Denny Hamlin versus bracket legend Ty Dillon. Here in the 2 versus 31. History's not going to repeat itself. We're not at Atlanta. We're not at a plate track. Dillon did do well at Sonoma last year, muscling out a last lap move to move on in the bracket last year. But Denny Hamlin, although he's not great at road courses, I think is going to do far better in the first round this year than he did last year. Eric Jones and Legacy Motor Club have been really good in the last month, facing against a team in the 22 Penske camp that struggles with consistency. Give me Eric Jones moving on. I know he's not a good road course racer at all, but I think that there's going to be luck involved, and ultimately Joey Logano has had nothing but bad luck this season. Give me Eric Jones. I could see this going the other way. Christopher Buescher facing against another one of those Legacy Motor Club Toyotas in John Hunter Nemechek. Buescher's one of the better road racers in the Cup Series. I'm going to pick him to move on in round 1. Christopher Bell facing off against Ross Chastain. Trackhouse has been very inconsistent all year, and Bell, I don't quite know his status for Sonoma because he did get moved out of the car last week. If they go to a backup driver, I assume that they're going to wind up being competitive if we don't have another money shift situation happen in that 20 Toyota. I'm going to pick the 20. Whoever's going to wind up driving it. I just don't quite believe in the one just enough. This is really a toss-up for me, but I'm picking Bell. William Byron in the 24 facing off against Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has really struggled on road course racing, and I know Hendrick is not bringing their best road course packages this year, but give me William Byron to move on. This here's an interesting matchup. The 6 versus 27. Kyle Larson versus Riley Herbst. Listen, Riley Herbst has been wheeling that thing ever since the announcement came out that he's not coming back to that ride next year. Facing against Kyle Larson, who, is going to be strong, but man, I've seen a lot of strength out of that 35 machine over the last month or so. I am going to pick Kyle Larson, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if Riley Herbst winds up beating Larson this week. This is the easiest pick in the whole bracket, unless if he gets wrecked. Shane Van Gisbergen should be the favorite to win this week, so sorry, Ryan Preece, this ain't your day. And then Ryan Blaney versus Josh Berry, probably the guy with the worst luck in the Cup Series going against probably the best Ford in the field right now. Give me Ryan Blaney to move on. All right, round 2. We're back at Chicagoland, an abrasive surface track that hasn't seen a whole lot of racing, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an old school feel, and I think tires are going to play into a factor. We're going to have a very, very interesting race to kick off round 2. Tyler Reddick moving on in round 2. I think that's pretty straightforward. He's one of the best cars in the field. I don't really believe in Austin Cindric. It's just he moved on because I believe in Brad Keselowski even less. Daniel Suarez versus Zane Smith. This is going to be a fun little matchup. Give me Daniel Suarez, just the raw speed there in the 7 this year, I believe more in than I believe Zane Smith right now. I think being a veteran, knowing how to manage your tires well, is going to play a factor here at Chicagoland. Next matchup, we have AJ Allmendinger versus Ty Gibbs. Give me the veteran at Chicagoland. I think this is a matchup that I pay big money to see just simply because I want to know how how the young guy in Ty Gibbs is going to manage a super abrasive racetrack in Chicagoland. He's struggled in the past in managing his tires, gelling with his team. I know he's got a new crew chief this year. Yeah, a lot of things have worked for that 54 bunch, and I just feel like it's gonna Chicagoland's definitely going to be a veteran driver coming out of the woodwork and winning. Next matchup, we have Michael McDowell versus Chase Elliott. I'm picking Chase here simply because, look, he doesn't qualify well, but when it comes to tracks where you have to save your stuff, give me number 9 every day of the week. On the long runs, he is definitely one of the most seasoned at doing that. Michael McDowell, this is going to be a close matchup. I don't think it's going to be a blowout or anything like that, but give me Hendrick power, Hendrick speed, and we'll see where the 9 winds up. This might be like he finishes 12th and McDowell finishes like 14th kind of matchup at Chicagoland. Moving on up in the bracket, we have Denny Hamlin versus Eric Jones. As much as my heart wants to pick Eric Jones, because he has a incredible. If you've paid attention to the 43 machine like I have this season, he has a incredible knack at keeping the stuff on the tires the longest. He is so good at long run racing. He is one of the fastest cars at the end of the run. Give me the swagger that the 11 has to move on from Chicagoland. Christopher Buescher facing against Christopher Bell. These two drivers, I think, are equally matched at this kind of task at Chicagoland. Toyota's been incredibly fast this year. The one knack is going to be the one nick, I guess, on Bell is that I don't know how well his arm's going to wind up recovering. Give me the raw speed of the Toyota here, as we're going to have a powerhouse matchup versus Hamlin and Bell for the next round. Taking a look further on down the chart, we have William Byron versus Kyle Larson, 200 teammates facing off at Chicagoland. Give me Larson. I think the 5 has been the strongest of the HMS cars in terms of consistency all year long. Higher ceiling, higher floor. Larson's done a really good job this year at not going checkers or wreckers. He's been doing really well at managing what it means to finish 3rd, 4th, and 5th all year long. This month stretch for him has been really positive. Give me Kyle Larson to move on. Shane Van Gisbergen against Ryan Blaney. This is where the SVG experience ends. I actually think Ryan Blaney might wind up winning Chicagoland, so that'll go well for him as he moves on to the next round, going to play against Kyle Larson. Round 3, a wild card here at Echo Park in Atlanta. Super excited for this. This is where we really got all the jumbling going on last season. And let's take a look at what it's going to take to be a good pack racer to come out on the end of this. Huge upset. And to be honest, it's an easy pick. Daniel Suarez is so good at plate racing. That 7 team has history of being really good there. If you remember when Corey LaJoie drove this car, he almost won in Atlanta. And Reddick typically finds himself in a mess at these super speedway style of races. Give me Daniel Suarez in what is, quite honestly, an easy pick for me. AJ Allmendinger versus Ty Gibbs. Again, I think I'm going to go with the raw speed of the... Oh, goodness. This is it. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Oh, no. Did I do this wrong? I did do this wrong. I picked Allmendinger to win Chicagoland. Goodness, I need to pay attention where my boxes are. All right. We're down here. Allmendinger versus Elliott. Woo! At Atlanta. Chase has not been very good at these plate races, and Allmendinger has a knack at being in them at the end. I think because I picked a upset on the bracket before this one, I'm going to go with Chase. My confidence in this pick is pretty low because on one hand, Chase is a checkers or wreckers kind of super speedway racer. He either makes it to the end or he winds up winning, and he has a history of winning in Atlanta. So I think that bodes in his favor. Allmendinger's a great middle-of-the-road racer where you know he's going to be there at the end, but I don't think he has winning speed. So give me Chase on a Sunday where it all comes together. Hopefully, we get to see number 9 move on to what is a really interesting semifinal matchup. Christopher Bell versus Denny Hamlin at Echo Park. Look, I, I think this is where the Hamlin run comes to an end. I think Christopher Bell is going to be as healthy as he's been. He's going to wind up putting it all together. The Toyotas have been so fast this year. And give me Christopher Bell to get an upset here at Echo Park. Very similarly to how we saw Denny Hamlin lose out on this round last year, with Echo Park being earlier in the schedule. I think he's going to lose out on the bracket again here at the same place, as Christopher Bell's going to wind up beating him. Kyle Larson versus Ryan Blaney at Echo Park, though, is a different story. This is a very clear pick for me because Kyle Larson and plate racing does not mix well. Kyle Larson is notoriously awful at super speedway racing, and he just can't get to the end of these things. Ryan Blaney is a smart driver. Again, probably the best Ford in the field this season. Give me Ryan Blaney to move on to the semifinals. And how it's all worked out makes a very interesting semifinal, doesn't it? We have Daniel Suarez versus Chase Elliott here at North Wilkesboro. And listen, people are going to call me a homer up until this point because I am a Chase Elliott fan. I believe in the 7-speed this year, and I don't believe necessarily in the high-end consistency of the 9 car. There's just some weeks where he's 25th and totally irrelevant and then squeaks out a 14th, 15th place finish. I think Daniel Suarez can put it all together for a race weekend down at North Wilkesboro and have a solid top 10 run. And in my opinion, being top 10, you can beat Chase Elliott on any given week finishing in the top 10, because Chase is probably going to finish either between 12th and 16th on a normal day, or if things go really well, I know he has a couple of wins, but if things go really well, he's going to finish in that 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th place. Being a Chase Elliott fan, it's infuriating because there's a lot more speed out of that 9 car that we can be getting. Sometimes they just miss the setup. I think this is going to be one of those weeks. Give me Daniel Suarez, kind of in the same vein of that Ty Dillon Cinderella run to get all the way to the end against a favorite. I know Christopher Bell is 10th in terms of seeding, but that 20 car has been really good. Short tracks can come down to fuel mileage. Give me the Ford. Ryan Blaney moving on to the finals, I think is probably a safe pick here. I kind of went on a limb for Bell last round. I'm not going to do it 2 rounds in a row. Give me Ryan Blaney getting to the finals. And then we're at Indianapolis, where all gloves are off and we can see what the high-end, high-speed, high downforce of these cars really look like. If a Toyota made it here to the end, well, we'd be picking them 7 days till Sunday. I think that's a no-brainer for how NASCAR has kind of panned out this year. If you want top-end speed, Toyota's really got it down. Chevrolet, with their body, not so much. And I think Ryan Blaney's going to be the guy at the end of all this that's going to hoist the trophy and say, I am the winner of this bracket for TNT's portion of the NASCAR Cup Series. Predict how many laps in the in-season challenge champion will lead during the 5-race tournament. I think Ryan Blaney, not necessarily a lead lap statistical driver, but if he does have it down for a week, I think it could all fall into his hands. And remember when I said back at Chicagoland, I think that's a Ryan Blaney winning kind of race, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that 12 car up front a lot during that event. And so I think he's going to stack up a lot of laps led over in Chicagoland. And with that said, let's just go with 250. I think let's go 250. Let's make it random. 253. I think Ryan Blaney is going to wind up leading a bunch of laps at Chicagoland and stack them up here at the end. Let's go back to a bracket here. But yeah, just wanted to do a fun video for you guys and take a look at what's to come here for the TNT portion of the Cup Series schedule, which is pretty much this, the in-season bracket. Something different. We're not really iRacing right now. I wanted to put something there on the channel for you guys. Take care. Have fun. And news will be out on our Facebook soon about where we're going and what we're racing. I'm really excited for what lies ahead for me on the iRacing side of things. But until we meet again, my name is Zach, here with ZWR, and keep doing you. Take care.